The Nile River flowed, timeless, forever. On its banks a great kingdom rose and fell. Powerful pharaohs ruled, their names carved in stone. But some stories time tries to hide. This is one of them. It's the story of a young king. He became king way too early. His name, Tutankhamun, the boy king. He took over a kingdom filled with problems. His dad, a real rule breaker, had messed with old traditions. The priests were mad. The people were scared. Tutankhamun, just a kid wearing a fancy gold mask, had to fix everything. His power was shaky. But even though he wasn't king for long, he did a lot. The Valley of the Kings, a place of hot sun and ancient magic. It's where pharaohs slept in fancy tombs. Their treasures were supposed to go with them to the afterlife. But their sleep was often broken. Grave robbers, wanting gold and jewels, stole from the sacred tombs. Yet one tomb stayed safe, hidden, forgotten. The tomb of Tutankhamun. For hundreds of years his name was buried. No one remembered him, lost in the desert sand. Then a whisper, a rumor of a forgotten king. An archaeologist really wanting to find things heard it. Howard Carter. He had a feeling. He searched the Valley of the Kings. Years went by. Then a step. Tutankhamun's tomb was like a time capsule, a picture of a lost world. Gold sparkled, treasures shone. The boy king, it seemed, was ready for forever. His coffin, a beautiful work of art. His golden mask, a famous symbol of ancient Egypt. But the tomb had more than just riches. It held clues. Clues about his life, his death, his beliefs, a puzzle for archaeologists to solve. The discovery made everyone interested in ancient Egypt. People loved the young king's story, his sad ending, his fancy afterlife. Born a pharaoh? Nope. Tutankhamun's early life is a mystery. Nobody really talked about his birth. He wasn't supposed to be king. His father, the unusual Akhenaten, had different ideas. Akhenaten, a pharaoh obsessed with the sun god Aten, changed all the religious rules. He got rid of the old gods, making the priests and the people angry. Tutankhamun, just a piece in a bigger game, grew up while his father changed everything. He was just a kid when his father's changes started to fall apart. The old ways, very strong, fought back. The young king, really controlled by grown-ups, started the hard job of fixing the kingdom. The old gods sent away by his father were welcomed back. Temples, empty and broken, were fixed up. The quiet talks of rebellion, started by Akhenaten's changes, slowly went away. But the problems from Akhenaten's time as pharaoh were still there. The priests, with less power, watched the young pharaoh carefully. The boy king, learning to be a pharaoh, followed the old traditions. He wore the special clothes of his ancestors, the gold crown, the crook and flail, symbols of his right to be king. He did his job seriously, giving gifts to the gods, leading celebrations and taking his armies to fight. He wanted to be remembered, to have his name next to great pharaohs like Thutmose III and Ramses II. He built big temples and monuments to honor the gods and make sure people remembered him. But it seemed like he didn't have much time. The young pharaoh, helped by his advisors, started the big job of making Egypt great again. The old gods, forgotten because of his father's strange beliefs, were welcomed back. Temples, once quiet and empty, were filled with the sounds of priests and gifts being given. Statues, broken and forgotten, were carefully fixed, their gold shining in the desert sun. The memory of Akhenaten's changes, although fading, was still there. The old ways, comfortable and familiar, brought things back to normal, but the kingdom was still hurt. Tutankhamun's time as king, though short, wasn't without success. Free from his dad's unusual ideas, he wanted Egypt to be powerful again. Wars, stopped during Akhenaten's rule, started again. Armies carrying the pharaoh's flag marched to stop trouble in faraway parts of the empire. Nubia in the south, a land full of gold and other valuable things, had become restless, while Egypt wasn't paying attention. Tutankhamun, wanting to fix things, sent his generals to remind the Nubians of Egypt's power. But even as Tutankhamun tried to make his mark, something bad was coming. The boy king, never very strong, got sick easily. Being pharaoh wearing the heavy crown was hard on his weak body. Quiet talks about him dying, once scared whispers, started in the palace. His young wife Enigmatic, his close friend, watched and worried. The young pharaoh got sicker. He wasn't strong anymore. He got weaker every day. The whispers about him dying, once quiet and scared, got louder in the palace. His advisors, with worried faces, talked to the priests and doctors, trying to find a way to help their sick king. The priests, their voices serious and concerned, performed their ancient rituals. Incense filled the air, the smoke carrying prayers for healing up to the sky. Good luck charms covered the pharaoh's weak body, their magic not strong enough to stop the darkness coming closer. Section 2. A web of intrigue. Tutankhamun getting sick so fast made people think something bad had happened. The court, a place full of secrets and dangerous plans, was buzzing with rumors. Did the young pharaoh die from being sick, his weak body unable to fight it off, or did someone hurt him? People suspected those closest to the king. I, the pharaoh's trusted advisor, a clever and power-hungry man, became a suspect. He had become more powerful lately, making people think he wanted to be pharaoh himself. Section 3. The mystery endures. No one knows exactly how Tutankhamun died. It's a puzzle that has fascinated historians and archaeologists for a long time. There are lots of theories, each giving us a peek into the secret world of ancient Egyptian palace life. Scientists have studied Tutankhamun's mummy and found some clues. A broken skull, first thought to be from murder, is now thought to have happened when they made him into a mummy. Other injuries, like a broken leg, make people think he might have died from an accident, maybe falling from a chariot. Section 1. The Valley of Silence. The Valley of the Kings. Hot, quiet, a place where the desert wind whispered sadly. For hundreds of years it held its secrets, the pharaoh's tombs hidden under the sand. Grave robbers had taken treasures from many tombs, but one tomb seemed safe. Howard Carter, an archaeologist with a big dream, felt drawn to this ancient world. He had spent years in the valley, losing hope with each passing season. He was looking for a ghost, a whisper, the tomb of Tutankhamun. Other archaeologists laughed at him. Section 2. A boy buried in time. The digging began, slowly, carefully. Each stone they moved was a step closer to the past. Everyone felt nervous. Days turned into weeks. Hope started to fade, then a step. The ground sank under Carter's foot. His heart beat fast. A sealed door. The walls were covered with faded markings. Carter gasped, could this be it? Section 3. Whispers from the dust. News of the discovery travelled fast. The world watched as Carter and his team carefully recorded and removed the treasures. Each object, a piece of the puzzle, helped tell the story of the boy king's life and death. There were boxes filled with clothes, games, and even a special boomerang. The boy king, it seemed, was ready for the afterlife. But the most amazing discovery was yet to come. Deep inside the tomb, inside a set of special boxes, was Tutankhamun's sarcophagus. The sarcophagus, made of solid gold, was incredibly beautiful. People whispered about a curse, a warning written in stone at the tomb's entrance. Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the pharaoh. Was it real or just a way to scare grave robbers? Whatever the truth, some bad things happened that made people believe the legend. Lord Carnarvon, Carter's boss, the man who paid for everything, died soon after they opened the tomb. A mosquito bite got infected and he died, but the whispers got louder. Newspapers wanting an exciting story made it seem even worse. The pharaoh's curse, they said, was real. More people died, someone on the team, a visitor to the tomb. Each death, even if it wasn't really connected, was blamed on the curse. People loved the story and wanted to know everything. Was it just a coincidence? Bad luck? Or something more? The legend became famous. Books and movies made it even more dramatic. The pharaoh's curse became a symbol of the dangers of messing with the dead. But with all the excitement, the real importance of Tutankhamun's tomb, the history and culture, was sometimes forgotten. Finding Tutankhamun's tomb made everyone interested in ancient Egypt. The boy king, once forgotten, became famous. His face with the gold mask became a symbol of a lost world, a great and mysterious civilization. Museums, wanting to show off the treasures, had exhibitions that were incredibly popular. People waited in line for hours to see the artifacts that had been hidden for thousands of years. Copies of the mask, the sarcophagus and other treasures became popular souvenirs, reminding people of the magic of ancient Egypt. The discovery also made people want to learn about Egyptology. Lots of students wanted to study the mysteries of the past. Archaeological digs, paid for by governments and rich people, went to explore Egypt, hoping to find more secrets of this ancient civilization. Tutankhamun, the boy king, became more famous after death than he ever was when he was alive. His story, one of power, secrets and sadness, captured the world's imagination, making sure that his legacy, unlike his tomb, would never be forgotten. The hot desert sun still shines on the Valley of the Kings. Tourists visit now, not grave robbers. They come to see where Tutankhamun rests, a peek into a lost world. His story, once lost in the sand, is now told in museums, books and movies. It's strange that Tutankhamun, a pharaoh who didn't do that much when he was alive, is so famous now. His name is almost the same as ancient Egypt itself. The gold mask, his face forever young, is a world-famous symbol. He's more famous dead than alive. Did he, in his last moments, as he was dying, think he would be so famous? Or did he think, like many pharaohs before him, that people would forget him, just another name lost to time? We don't know. The boy king, forever young, forever a mystery, took his secrets to the grave, but the questions remain, the mystery continues, and that maybe is the real magic of Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun's story reminds us that the past is powerful. It can reach across thousands of years to excite and inspire us. One tomb, buried and forgotten, showed us a whole civilization. It made us curious, made us imagine, and reminded us that life is short, death is certain, and mysteries are exciting. The boy king, even though he wasn't king for long, is remembered in history. He connects the ancient world to the modern world, a reminder of the amazing legacy of ancient Egypt. His story, a mix of sadness, secrets and discovery, continues to fascinate and inspire us, making sure we'll always remember Tutankhamun. From the busy streets of Cairo to the important museums around the world, we remember him. In the artifacts that survived, in the stories we tell, in the endless fascination with his life and death, Tutankhamun's legacy lives on. He reminds us that even after death, some stories refuse to be quiet. They whisper in the desert wind, waiting for the right time to be heard again. And so the boy king rests. His treasures, no longer hidden under the sand, are now in museums showing us a lost world. His story, a timeless tale of power, secrets and discovery, continues to amaze us, reminding us that the past is never really gone. It lives on, whispering its secrets, waiting to be discovered again.